How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Brooks Running reminds us that we're all powered by something. Whether it's the me-time energy of a run after a day at the office, the electrifying energy of your first marathon, or the infectious energy of a group run with your friends. No matter what energy powers you, Brooks has gear specifically designed to unleash it. So lace up and let it out. Let's run there. Visit brooksrunning.com today to learn more.
Icy Hot Pro with 2 max strength pain relievers. Targets multiple pain receptors. Ice works fast, heat makes it last.
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar, zero patience for slow walkers, those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night, have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Hi, this is Tony Ruggiero here on The Tour Coach. Thanks for joining in and thanks for following along. It is my mission to bring you some of the best instructors, the players, mental coaches, fitness experts, everything you need to play better golf, all of the people I find fascinating that can give you information to help you in your pursuit as a teacher or as a player. It's all here on DewsweeperTV or wherever it is you get your podcast. Thanks for watching the Tour Coach podcast, and hopefully this helps you teach better, play better, and enjoy the game. All right, it's Masters Week. Joining me here on the pod for Masters Week, my favorite week of the year. I know it's his favorite week of the year too. Wayne Flint, longtime mentor, one of my great friends, always here on the pod. Wayno, I know it's your favorite week, and you're the first person ever took me to Augusta way back in the day, and we could tell a bunch of those stories, but they probably wouldn't be what everybody's wanting listening to. I still remember those wings I got, or those ribs one night. Look at them under the light. But
look at them under the light.
Place, look at them under the light from that establishment downtown Augusta. But I learned a lot my trips to Augusta with you early on, especially teaching, and I encourage folks that go to try to learn from what the best players in the world do. And obviously you could do that at any tour event, but I think Augusta magnifies everything. And so many people, so many recreational golfers and regular golfers watch the Masters way more than they would watch the Valero Texas Open, or whatever. So it's such a good opportunity for people to learn. Let's come up with 5 things that people can learn from watching the Masters. What would be one from you?
Well, Tony, there's no question. It's my favorite week of the year, and I do think we can learn a lot every year watching it start to finish. The one thing I always noticed when we went over there together back in the day, and we would watch them play their practice rounds. It was amazing to me the creativity the guys have around the greens there. They just don't miss the green, grab their 60-degree wedge, and jump out of their cart and go hit it. They go figure out a way. They go figure out a way to get it up and down. Now, sometimes they do hit their 60-degree wedge, but there's a lot of creativity around those greens and ways, because of the speed of the greens and the slope of the greens, creative ways to bring the ball to the hole without flying it right at the hole. They can play it off to the side, and maybe average golfers can't do that quite as much on normal golf courses because the slopes are not as severe, and the greens are not as fast. But certainly people can use their eyes and their mind to be a little bit more creative around the green, and instead of just trying to hit that one stock shot and do it every single time they miss a green. So creativity around the greens is a big one, I think.
And if you're a golfer out there wanting to get better, like you practice, when you go on the golf course in the evening, or you go to the range, you go to your practice green, try hitting a bunch of different shots. That's how they learn to do it, right? I remember you telling me old stories of back in the day in Chicago, you and Norm Tums hitting a bunch of just crazy spinning shots, that's how you learn.
Yeah, I mean, we used to try to see who could spin it back the further, hit it low and spin it back, and we thought it was cool, and we didn't really know how to do it. We were just trying to make it happen, and then lo and behold, we'd hit one and make it happen, and we'd say, "Well, what'd you do to do that?" "Well, I don't know. Let me try it again." We didn't know, but we kept on trying different things, and using creativity and feel and touch and all those things. So I think people have to get creative. And back then we didn't have 60-degree wedges and 58s and all the stuff. We had a stock Wilson staff 55-degree sand wedge, and we had to hit everything with that. I mean,
brace the rudders, raise the sails, raise the sails.
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to help you make the most of your summer with Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer worth playing for. Play for it with the guys when you're competing to see who can sink more birdies on the golf course, because winning tastes even better with Ultra on the line. Play for Ultra. Fill your fridge with Michelob Ultra this summer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
We had to learn to hit it high. We had to learn to hit it low. We had to learn to bump and run it. All the things. All those things. There weren't the 6-pack wedge systems like there are now. So we had to do a lot of different stuff.
Second thing I'm going to say is lag putting. Like, watch how much, if you get the opportunity to go, and now with the unbelievable Masters app, why every golf organization couldn't have an app this good, but like where you can watch people on the range and get all the data. But if you have the chance, watch how much they practice speed control and lag putting, and how much they focus on that. I never see recreational golfers spend any time on that, very seldom. They may hit a few 5 or 6 footers and a few 10, 15 footers. They go to the tee, but focusing on speed control and putting is something everybody could benefit watching this week, and how important it is.
Well, there's no question. And, we've been over there a bunch together. You and I had a lot of fun doing it, but those greens are big and they're undulating, a lot of slope, a lot of speed. And, no one's going to have a bunch of 8 and 10 footers over there. Certainly the guys playing the best are going to, get it closest to the hole. But everybody at some point this week is going to have some really long lag putts that they're going to have to get close. And in order to stay in the tournament or to stay near the lead of the tournament, you've got to control that, because the run out over there at Augusta is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can hit a great 30-footer and still have a 6-footer left. I mean, so
absolutely,
you really have to control your speed over there, because the run out will just keep on going forever if you let it get away from you. So there's no question about that. So two of the most important things, I think, are short game, which you and I are preaching all the time to the players that are trying to be competitive. You got to spend a lot more time and a lot more creativity and a lot more imagination. All those things really tend to help you zero in on your short game and get it as good as you can get it.
All right. So what would be your third thing people could gain by watching?
I think another thing that happens over there is, they don't just bash the ball down the middle of every fairway. They really figure out how they want the ball to come into the green on their second shot, where they want to leave it. You just can't hit it on the green over there. I mean, you can hit it on number 9 and hit it 40 feet past the hole, and boy, let me tell you, you're going to have your hands full not 3-putting that green. So you've got to really figure out, where you want the ball to be when it's done. If it doesn't end up right next to the hole perfect, where do you want it to be to give yourself your best chance of, an easy 2-putt or 2-putt par, or, a nice 15, 18-footer up the hill instead of downhill, side hill. And, so course management of where you want to hit it in the fairway, how you want to bring the ball to the green, it's just not bash away and then go putt. You really have to think your way around that golf course, especially. And you've been over there during the tournament week with your players, and there's a lot. They're looking at those yardage books a lot over there. They're not just freewheeling it. Playing the hole.
Hey, it's Paris. I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and Auto Camp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Becoming the most valuable sports franchise in the world doesn't happen without risk. A man who's willing to bet it all, and the players ready to make their own luck. America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys, is the story of the 1990s Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones's impact on NFL history. Featuring interviews with iconic 90s players and more. Watch America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys, August 19th, only on Netflix.
And I was going to say for the fourth, it dovetails with what you just talked about, but that when they get out of position and they hit a bad shot, which all of them do, they put the ball back in position the next play. Like you see guys hit pitches or chip outs or chase balls up to certain areas where they've got an easier play. Like everything's about getting the ball back into position. And I think recreational golfers, your handicap club golfers could really benefit from that. They're not playing golf courses as severe as Augusta, but when you're out of position, watch these guys through the week on TV or in person. If you're lucky enough to have a ticket, go there. Watch how when they're out of position, where they go put the next ball. And how and right. And if you like with the coverage now where you can hear a lot of it caddies and players back and forth, listen to the discussion where the caddies on Monday we had Coop on, and Coop took us through the 10 most important shots at Augusta. And it was, listen to them talk about he talked about 12. You've got 4 feet, 4 yards going all the way. Like you can make par from here, but you can't there, right? The importance of always keeping it in the right position, and when you hit a bad shot, taking your medicine, because they'll make bogeys. I think they're okay making bogeys because you can make a bunch of birdies at Augusta with the par 5.
That's right. It is amazing that they will put the ball, where it looks like, he should be able to knock this up on the green or right around the green, and they'll lay it out there 20, 30 yards, short of a hole or to the right of a hole to give them the easiest pitch into the slope where they can control that ball and get it ending up around the hole so they have a reasonable putt for par. So you're right. You're exactly right. You're never going to take themselves totally out of the hole, bury themselves, make double bogeys, triple bogeys, by making mistakes. They try to play mistake free, and hey, you're going to miss the putt here and there, but if you come at it from the right direction and the right area, you're going to make a whole lot more of those putts than you're going to miss if you can keep your ball under control. No question about that.
All right, last one. What would be your fifth thing folks could watch and learn?
Well, I think I think it's amazing. We'll get to see those guys over there, and they're going to be excited, and they're going to be nervous, and all the things that go along with playing tournament golf. And, you start seeing that these guys are human beings too. They hit great shots and they're nervous. And, I always remember a story a friend of ours told us about one of his guys that had got himself into contention and had about a 20-footer for an eagle or something like that. And they said, come on, let's go do it. And this guy said, well, I've been waiting to hit this putt my whole life. So these are human beings out there with a high level of excitement and all that. It means a lot to them too.
Right.
And, we find out that they're not just robots playing for trophies. They've got emotions, and they learn to deal with that. And like you said, the caddy and player exchange is critical over there, because probably nobody knows those guys better than their caddy. Especially,
no question about it.
Especially in those situations. And, they can see when they're getting a little antsy or a little anxious, and, and the ability of the team working together and how they truly work their way around that golf course. it's just not magic. I mean, it's something that they go out every day with the intent to do, and they try to get better at it every day. And you know, we're gonna see, you know, we're gonna see on Saturday and Sunday afternoon especially, we're gonna see the best in the world doing it. That's for sure.
Wayne, awesome stuff. Enjoy Masters Week. Thanks as always for sitting there with me. Look forward to chatting soon, bud.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.